Looks like I did it again. Started with that. Sorry. Um, let's see. I need to figure out what to start calling these things. I think this one might be a video. I'm saying this because I know I'm supposed to be writing this down. This is the beginning of Ask with Me show. I think. So that means I kind of have to ask questions in this one. I don't know. The other ones I've done are crypto news and Gary V related. And those I'm usually listening to something, which is the Ask Gary V show. So I do news and Ask Gary V, or news and Gary V. I don't know yet. Anyway, I think this one is going to be asking things, because I think I've been unknowingly asking questions. Like my most recent one for Abra was, what was it? If I sold, here, let me write down Abra question, so to remind myself to go look at that, because that's actually a good question. The Google question. Oh, this is good. Maybe I won't end up with a stupid 45-minute show of me blabbing on. Maybe I can tie in my babysitting stint. Babysitting, seeing family. I'm just writing down things that I might cover in this. So if I'm trying to form a good storyline or something, I can look at my notes. I don't know. We're all new to this. So I think what started this odd idea was how to get someone's attention. Wow, don't even believe that fell out of my mouth. So think of it this way. If you wanted to get Gary V's attention, what kind of copy would you use? And I say that knowing almost zero. Let's see, where is he? Knowing almost zero. There he is. Knowing almost zero of how to write copy, I don't even know if this is the right answer. But, as I'm sure Gary V would say, if you have a question, I'm imagining if I asked him that question, he would say, become a practitioner. So, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of someone's attention by asking them questions in the, what would I call it? In the attention receiver's tone of voice, if that makes sense. So, if you're going to try and get Gary V's attention, say something you think he would say, but say it about yourself. Because he recognizes that. Like, he'll retweet something that someone that gets him to the point of, holy shit, he talks about this all the time, and here's an instance of it happening, and they give an instance, he likes that. He retweets it. Because he's like, yo, this is how it works. So the only way you're going to get attention for accomplishing what you're setting out to accomplish is to set out and try to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish in public. And that is the key word here, because if you do not do that in public, like the actual public that makes sense, If you go on Twitter and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that," and then in reality you don't do that, it catches up with you. In fact, it catches up with you so quickly, it doesn't even you don't even get any you don't even get off the ground because that's fronting and people see it and call you out for it. If you do what Gary did, he did it online. He didn't do tell people what you're going to do and then try and take pictures to make it true, eventually getting called out that it isn't, so then you have to resort back to saying what you're doing by doing it. Maybe I need to write that down. Say what you're doing by doing it. Maybe that's what I'll call this, because that makes a lot of sense. Say what you're doing by doing it. If you do that online, aka real time, real life, and that gets attention, that's all you need to convince yourself, to motivate yourself, to pester yourself to start doing something that you think is going to be valuable for other people. And I apologize if none of this makes sense, but it's it's these moments in your life where you're thinking, wait a minute, I think I might be able to know how to help someone. I don't want to get paid to do it. I just want to see you succeed the same way I did. So now that I'm thinking about that out loud, now I actually have to go do it. I have some ideas, I have some thoughts, I have some things I'm worried about. Whatever it is that you can come up with that you're feeding yourself to say, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna go out on that limb today because you lean back and relax. Whatever that is for you, that's what Gary Vee wants to extract wholeheartedly. Like, he genuinely wants you to be able to see all the happiness in life when you're able to see like that in perpetuity. So this brings me to my asking, and this is where I started. Asking, then let me put this in via not Gary Vee, but the digital asset investor. So we have to keep him on. Oh, he does follow me. Oh, that's right, because this was recent. So here's my other thing. Find someone in your space who is doing... How do I say this? So when I start... The story I'm telling myself right now ends in my success because it's involving what I'm actually doing with my Twitter. So I'll just use that as an example to try and break down how I, for lack of a better word, fell into this successful thought by accident. Well, just fell into this successful thought by accident. See, I don't know if I need these or not when I write the title of this. I think eventually I'd like to have them live streamed so I can try and give some direction as to what I'm talking about. And then if someone wants to chime in, they're more than welcome to. I think that's how I'm going to have to do these, because trying to remember what I was talking about to put in a title 45 minutes after I was talking about it, not very easy. So to avoid having to replay everything, that's where I'm going with this. Anyway, digital asset investors. So now he follows me. He sees my what was it? He liked something that I said. I said something recently um, about how, and it's weird because the things that I am now saying on Twitter are the things the little tiny voices would say. Excuse me. And it's not that they were tiny because you made them that small. It's that they were tiny because they weren't confident enough to be louder. And now that I've gotten a severe injection of confidence and self-awareness, I'm like, oh, that voice is my honesty. That's my voice. Shit, that's me. Because I'll say weird random, like to him I said, what was it? Kind of seemed corny. Now that I'm thinking about it, but had I not said it, I wouldn't have gotten the likes. And it was not that I'm doing it for the likes, but it told me that, hey, those weird little voices that you have that are supporting someone else, other people find those valuable. And it's like I think like that, but I don't speak like that. So I'll think of friends of mine always give me a hard time because I'll say I thought of something, but I didn't do it. And they're like, oh, yeah, you always say that. It's just, you always forget, or you're forgetful, or you don't want to do it, or you're lazy, whatever it is. I'm like, no, 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 no. It's literally, for me, thinking about doing something is more satisfying to me than actually doing it. It's very bizarre. It's very weird. I think it might have to do with my Asperger's, but it's thinking about something is almost more satisfying to me than doing it. So after I'll think of it, it'll be a great idea, and I'll get all into it, and I'll get not theatrical, but I'll get inventive and creative and crafty, so it's realistic and what I'm thinking could actually happen. But then after that, the activity of doing it almost isn't as like it's very weird to describe, because I know consciously that if I did that thing, I'd be, hold on, how does this come out? If I did what I'm thinking about doing, I would become successful, so I could do more and more of it. Knowing that is possible doesn't motivate me to do it. I still enjoy thinking about it rather, more than doing it. I think there might be another thing I have to write down. I enjoy thinking about my success more than living it. Huh, that's very interesting. I enjoy thinking about my success more than I enjoy living it. Very bizarre. That might have to be Instagram. So I'm also trying to figure out how I need to, what's the word? In building a brand, how do you find your tribe? I don't want to call it that because I don't want to make it sound like that book. But if you're looking to find your group of friends in a certain platform, because the context is different, or is it context? No, did I say context or context? Content? Context? Different I have no idea. Anyway, between Twitter and Instagram, it's different. So I'm thinking that the people that I would be speaking to on Twitter are familiar with a certain way of communication, whereas the people that are on Instagram are different. And I'm thinking, and this is what I'm going to try out now that I'm thinking about it, I think Instagram is more artistically inclined. I don't want to say that as it's a bad thing if you aren't into Instagram, but I just think it's more visually driven and more visually inspired, might be where I'm going with this. Like if you saw a quote or if you saw a caption underneath something that were that your attention was attracted to, and it said, I enjoy thinking about my success more than I enjoy living it. You'd have to be like, wait a minute. This kind of pertains to me, but I don't think it makes sense to me. I enjoy thinking about my success more than. Wait, how can you enjoy thinking about something when you know if you did it, you'd have it? So that might drive someone up the wall and be like, who is this and why do they enjoy thinking about things better than actually doing? And I literally get someone engaged because I think, and this is sort of a limb I'm going out on, but I think I will be able to promote myself by giving people valuable success stories that are written by them. And I'll try and explain sort of what that means. Say if you're someone like myself who's trying to get their, what is it called? Their reputation built online. Put it that way. I am currently now understanding what Gary Vee has done in the past and is doing now, spoken in his past's future, because we can go back and look at his videos 4 years from today and read and think and understand what he was thinking about what was going to happen in the future. He's still here. So it's not like, we're looking at what would it be called? A montage or a compilation of, when Gary Vee dies, unfortunately, we're not going to see this montage of all the important things he taught the society. We're not going to see them when we can't talk to him. We're going to see them when he's literally making more. So something that really set me off was, or I think what set me off on this video, was thinking about all the things I had seen, because I went back and watched the Ask Gary Vee show from a long time ago, and it was interesting because one of Gary's one of his more recent shows, he started with the intro of, hey everybody, this is Gary Vee on the Ask Gary Vee show. And then he's like, oh wait, I don't know why I started like that. I used to do those back in the day. And I was like, holy crap, shit. That's right. Like, I almost look at him as he's having 18 different conversations with me, because I'm listening to what he's doing now, I'm listening to what he was doing a month ago, and I'm listening to what he was doing 4 years ago. Like, I'm listening to all these little snippets in time, and unless he gives a context via news event or date or something, you don't know when he said it. So it's interesting if I'm hearing him say something at a keynote and it's something that if it's something that I knew was old news but it was correct and that it was futuristic, I'd be like, wait a minute, when did he say this? So it's he's learned, basically where I'm trying to go with this, he's learned how to get people's attention by speaking in their, what was the word I came up with? Speaking in their accent, not accent, but I'll maybe use that to explain what I'm trying to do. So this guy, digital asset investor, is from Georgia, and to try to make a long story short, for some reason I imagine the future communication abilities, or the best way that people communicate online, is done through, and here's the stretchy part, the way that actors spoke and conducted themselves in movies from the 1950s. So when everyone said exactly what they meant and knew when other people were being sarcastic, like that form of communication is 100% better for online types of what am I trying to say? Online type of communication versus the sarcastic, you know, you need to be able to see my face to understand what I'm saying. And I think this is also another Asperger's thing that has helped me enormous because my brain wants to put a picture to what I'm seeing. And until a few minutes ago, I never really realized that, oh, wait, this guy's afternoon routine is exactly kind of how I spent my last week babysitting. So I literally was sitting around for a week, not doing anything other than consuming these videos as they came out. And I was just sitting here thinking, as I was listening to this one, I was like, wait a minute, that's what that guy does. He talks about what I did. He goes to school, he brings a 6-year-old. My nephew, one of them down there, was a 9-year-old. I was like, shit, he actually does this. As his, like, this is his life. And I was like, oh crap. So seeing, putting his voice in his face, we don't know what he looks like, I don't care, but putting his brand, putting his persona to a life style that I was intimately familiar with, aka I experienced it, hit this home for me. And I'm like, holy crap. I need to figure out how to talk to him in the way that he talks to get his attention. So that's actually what I'm going to try and write down. I need to be able to talk like he talks so I can get his attention. And it's not get attention for any monetary purposes or any devious purposes. And let me do this because it's been running in the background and I'm sure you've been hearing it and it's been annoying the crap out of you. I don't know why I start making tea when I do this. It reminds me of The Modern Investor. He I would say is by far my favorite to listen to because I relate to him a whole lot in more than I can describe at the moment. But anyway, I feel I am very in tune with him because the way he thinks is very similar to the way I think. I'll put it that way. So I need to be able to talk like he talks so I can get his attention. So in writing this tweet, and how's that for a freaking 23-minute intro? God, Brady. I'm writing this tweet, and the voice I'm reading it to myself, reading back to myself in the voice is, I'm reading this back to myself in the voice of his voice. And that's why it's very interesting because I'd already posted this on here. And this is a great cue for me to go get my apparatus. I brought this down with me to Florida, but I only used it once. I guess I'm more prepared for thinking at home. I don't know. What do I need to do? Give me 1 second. Hold on. All right, good. So I was just talking to myself.
Heads out to a customer. Amazon technology helps our associates in
Yes, so this is actually another reason why I do this. When I watch things on YouTube, I'm actually like talking about like I'll one thing at a time, Brady. Let's finish up. All right, so this is what I had written here, which now for whatever reason, and this is partly why I'm writing this, I'm not changing what I said, and I'm not sure why. And I think it's because I'm trying to say it in his candor or in his the way he would say it, so that now that he is following me and has seen something that I've written, when it pops up in his feed that I said something, hopefully he'll look at it. And hey, I get his attention. And what's cool is that by getting his attention, I gain what I'm going to refer to as accountability. Because, like I said before, and I'm so glad I wrote it down, I enjoy thinking about my success more than I enjoy living it. And that is one bizarre thing to have. But if you can meet enough people, and this is just a numbers game, so that's why I'm essentially doing this. If you can meet enough people, some of them will be, I don't want to sound cliche, but the yin to your yang. So I enjoy thinking about my success more than actually doing it. There are other people that think about it and then start doing it too soon because they want it to happen, but in doing so, they didn't think it through, so they fail. And they keep on doing that over and over again. I'm not speaking to anyone in particular, I'm just saying, to me, that in the way my mind works, that's how I see that unfolding. So when I think of a story that ends in my success, I get really intricate, really detailed, and really specific about things that, in my opinion, aren't too far from the realm of possibility. So it's something that's very, very helpful for you if you also possessed a strong, strong, strong passion to carry through with it. So it's very weird, but if I find someone who has the gut the chutzpah, the I don't know what you want to call it, but the determination and the drive to do it, but they lack the creative side, the thinking side, the not that they aren't thinking, but they it's like how Gary Vee talks about how he writes his copy. Like that's how he gets people's attention. You have 1 second of a glance to get someone's attention. So he knows how to speak in order to get my attention. Because the more I am thinking like he is, the more I think like he does. So there will be times during the day where I think of something and I hear it in his voice. Because my subconscious recognizes that as something that he would say. And that's how I listen to it. Other things I hear in other people's voices. And that's how I know, oh, this is me, this is where I should take care of myself, or this is my inner voice, or this is something that I'm telling myself to do. So, hopefully, that brings me to finish what I actually started out doing. Will it be long before we start reading headlines like Bitcoin fighting and Ripple helps companies do whatever? Run-ups for bulls knowing... So basically what I'm trying to say is, could this... Basically, if I worked at the government and someone came to me and said, hey, guys, it's kind of obvious and everyone... If everyone doesn't know it, everyone will soon know it, that the charade game that you're pulling is complete and total utter bullshit. They know it is, you know it is, you but you know they haven't all told themselves yet or told everyone yet. So it's like people that are online that are watching what these politicians are doing and whatever. To me, that seems a lot more advanced an advanced way of thinking than watching the news on the TV and watching basically consuming old content is for someone that wants to live in the past, whereas someone consuming real time content is someone who wants to work and live in the future, if that makes sense. So it's almost like I have a much better chance of getting motivated to influence my government through social media to change something in our country's future than I would want to go to the voting booth and vote. Like, who? Wait, you're gonna go and when you could go online and go talk to this person. I'm going off on a tangent, but when you could go online and talk to this person, why are you gonna go and vote for them? Hello. Anyway, so I see this. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, yeah, I really got sidetracked. Anyway, the dude's voice. Bitcoin fighting on Ripple has helped companies. So is it going to be because because of the eyes that are because of the eyes that are watching Bitcoin now, because of the eyes that are watching Bitcoin now, this next bull run up won't be as slow and steady. Wow, see that? Talk about wanting to be perfect. So when I do my tweets, I like to sorry, that was probably bothering you. When I do my tweets, I like to make them perfect. Everyone, this is a rule I make with myself. Everyone sometimes in their life wants to essentially, sorry, I'm really gonna ruin all the ruinous rules of broadcasting and to not be distracting. I'll just finish doing what I'm doing and then tell you what I did. Alright, so before I ruin my beautiful sounding voice with movement in the background, making my tea, let me finish this. Because of the eyes that are now watching Bitcoin, this next bull run up won't be as slow and steady as the last. So I'm not sure if I'm saying this like he did, but I like the way it sounds because it's direct. Anyway, I don't know, I'm giving it a shot. Maybe it's the way to do it, maybe it's not. So I guess that's I think a 34-minute freaking how-to video is good enough. Shit, or do I keep going? I don't know. If I keep going, I'm gonna need play him.
many
Oh.
incredible ways.
Amazon introduced our drive unit robots
And then I
in
start seeing
2012,
these.
which led to 300,000 new full-time jobs.
These are the stow stations. They use artificial intelligence and computer vision.
Yeah, pretty cool.
This is the palletizer. It uses computer vision to stack totes of products.
That's
There's so
crazy.
much cool technology that goes into this.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, like 2D imaging, a laser sensor, high motion performance, and 165 kilogram load capacity.
Wow. Amazing.
Our tech vests help communicate with the robots to keep us safe while working on the field.
I think your tech vest could use a little more tech.
Thanks, but I think my vest already has everything it needs.
That's interesting.
Incredible.
I know, right?
With Amazon's human and robotic powers combined, we are building the future of technology together.
That's, pardon my language, but fucking brilliant. Like, make a whole separate video on that alone.
I work hard to lead a healthy lifestyle for myself and my 2 kids.
Okay,
Teams are working
sorry.
hard to light up those next set
I
of
need to
destinations
get
so
on
that we
with
can
this.
provide our customers with increased choice in terms of global expansion. The big, down here, we have plans for the Middle East. We have plans for Canada imminently.
Oh,
But
perfect.
I think the really exciting thing that X-Rapid and Ripple brings is it actually brings access to new markets that perhaps aren't actually accessible now. It's 2 countries today. It could be 10 before the middle of the year. And what stops it from becoming any more than that? XRP has an advantage in that it is built specifically for payments. And so it settles in a matter of seconds. So that question that you had earlier about volatility, not an issue when using XRP for cross-border payments. The cost of sending XRP is just a fraction of a few pennies. And the third reason is that it's extremely scalable. You can do thousands of transactions per second using XRP. And all those reasons make it really well suited for cross-border payments. You can beam YouTube to the space station. You can actually send emails with just a few clicks, and anyone around the world can get it. But sending money, I mean, that is a painful experience. If you've sent a bank wire or you've actually tried to wire money around the world, you know that it's just faster probably to just get that money, get on a plane, and get it to your destination. The crazy thing about payments today in 2019 is that if you want to send money globally, it really hasn't changed since the 1960s. But the world has evolved. There needs to be corresponding modern day way of sending money. And that's what we're really after with Ripple and RippleNet. Wow, what a great exchange. Okay, King Solomon sent this to me. BNY Mellon becoming custodians of digital assets. Brad called it BNY plus Volanti RippleNet sidebar. So anyway, I'm not going into this article. That kind of speaks for itself. BNY Mellon, remember, is the bank of the family, the Mellon family. The guy, what was his name? Matthew Mellon is the one that died owning like $1 billion worth of XRP. And there's another connection. Don't quote me on this, but I swear that I heard this somewhere. I heard from someone that Brad Garlinghouse, I believe his daughter, is married to one of these people at this bank, BNY Mellon. That could be wrong, but I could swear that I heard that from somewhere. Please let me know if that's true or not, I'd like to know. Next, Sean Michael at Michaels _ Mr. sent me this. U.S. Bank hires a formal Ripple XRP partner. Will they integrate? And this is the article he sent. U.S. Bank announced a few hours ago that it has hired Derek White, a former employee at BBVA, one of Ripple's leading partners. The hiring of White could see U.S. Bank adopt Ripple technologies and XRP for cross-border transactions. U.S. Bank announced today that the company has hired veteran digital leader and innovator Derek White as Chief Digital Officer responsible for leading the company's newly combined digital team. White will report to U.S. Bank Chairman, President, and CEO Andy Cecere and be a member of the company's managing committee. Let me see if there's anything. It says he's a proven global track record as a digital innovator in banking. He and his team will be instrumental in deepening our commitment to provide our retail and institutional customers with the capabilities that make it easier and better to bank with U.S. Bank. Nice. That's big, folks. All right. This from CryptoLib. I've promised that I'm going to keep showing you some of these charts. Just because I show you these charts does not mean that I necessarily agree with them. It just means that I want to show you some ideas from some of the people that are into charting and know this part of the business. And so I'm showing it to you. Doesn't mean that I'm saying, oh, this is what it means. This is what's going to happen. Anyway, I can confirm technically almost on all indicators that this thing is about to skyrocket soon. I've already shared a number of indicators in my previous TA tweets on XRP. On this one, I show the monthly stochastic RSI's bullish cross over after a double bottom. And that's what he's showing right here. And so I just wanted to show it to you. And finally, one of my favorite quotes of all time from Mike Tyson. So true. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the mouth.
That sounds like
Tyson
Gary
was
V.
probably the greatest fighter of all
Oh,
time.
ask questions.
I would have loved to seen a fight between him.
See, good thing I wrote this down. So that means I should stop a video, play a song, keep it moving all night long. No, it's not what I'm going to hear right this second. Yeah. All right. Alright, let me introduce you to the show. No, that's not what I was supposed to say. We've been going 42 minutes, Brady. Good grief. 42, I actually should write that down. Ooh, coming in hot. Alright, here we go. So, I guess I can find these by doing this. Alright. So this is the Ask With Me show. Meaning, now I have to go find the silly things that I have been asking. Here's one of them. Hey Abra. Hey Abra. Abra Global. How fast... Oh, now the drop's coming. Hey Abra Global. How fast would I be able to get liquid USD funds into my bank account after selling a substantial nominal amount of XRP on your platform? And would that be treated as one taxable event or two? So I'm basically trying to figure out, I have an opportunity that I think I need to take action on quickly, and I'm feeling like the quickest way to do this is to do it through Abra. And I'm sure you XRP people out there know what I'm saying when I say do, because it most likely has to do with, well, buying more XRP. Why not? The problem, or nay, not the problem per se, I don't know why I'm starting to rhyme now that I'm talking over my activities again. But here comes the drop. Alright, always gets me back on track. Buying more XRP. So I have an opportunity. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And for me, the cheapest and fastest way is through Abra. But I also understand that that's not buying a digital asset that I can put in a hardware wallet. It's buying a contract. So that's sort of what spurred my question to Abra, because I'm like, shit, I gotta figure this out sort of quickly right now. How fast would I be able, like, if I sold, I'm gonna make it up, 100 grand worth of XRP, how quickly would I be able to make a deposit on a down payment for a mortgage? Like, how quickly is that liquid? In the future, I see us paying in XRP, but for now, for today, or tomorrow, for the foreseeable future, I need to know how quickly that shit's liquid. So that was one question. Good thing I wrote these down, because I wouldn't have remembered to actually do what I was set out to do. Google question. That was another one that I had. Is Google fast enough to read the web page I'm watching in the video playing on my phone screen to give it as a top result after I write? These are these are too long. I need to fix these. I need to fix my own copy. Is Google fast enough to read the web page I'm watching in the video playing on my phone screen? So basically, to give it as a top result after I type the headline in and hit search on my desktop browser. So basically, last night, I was watching an Alex Cobb video, and someone said something about Brooklyn and XRP, and I was like, huh. I don't know personally many Bitcoin people around me, and take this for a grain of salt, I haven't really been looking to actively meet them, so this shouldn't come as a shock to me. But when someone said, hey, there's an XRP person in Brooklyn, I was like, okay, let me go see if I can find them. Let me go see if they're on Twitter. Let me see where they are. So I was trying to figure out, in Alex Cobb's video, which I had playing on my screen, I was able to see the XRP chat. Hey, thank you, Paul. I was able to see the XRP chat and saw his post, but I wasn't really able to figure out who he was or how to get more information on his identity. So I was like, crap, well, I'm watching it on my phone, so I don't want to, I want to be able to click something on the screen to send me to his identity. I don't know. But that's not possible because that's the video that's playing. But I was like, I didn't want to watch the video to then Google his name in the XRP chat so I could go. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to keep watching the video. So I literally went over to my laptop and sat there with the video playing and was like, all right, so what do I Google? And I literally put in, what did I put in? I think I sent it as a picture. Dang it, I don't remember. Not XRP neighbor sighting, but something about XRP being within your close vicinity that you see it. On other people, it's like, wait, what? That never happens. You're few and far between on the internet. How are you going to find yourself in actual reality? I put that in the 4 words that it said it, and the first result that popped up on my Google was a link to the page that I was seeing, that I was watching in the video. And I was like, wait a minute. Do you think Google is fast enough to literally use its fucking eyeball that we know it's watching us with? Is it fast enough to read the web page I'm watching on my phone account? It knows where I'm on my desktop or when I'm on my phone. Is it quick enough to recognize the video that I'm watching, to recognize the web page in the video that I'm watching, so that when I go to a desktop to search for it, it says, oh, maybe he wants to see this. And if you think about it, information searching is one thing. You have to do that written, or you have to do that through typing. Picture, what did I call it? Surfing? Picture information surfing? No. Searching. Information searching is with text. Picture searching, very difficult. But hey, not when you got a brain like mine, because I freaking think in pictures. If I were to be looking at something on my phone screen and then I went to a search engine, what's the probability that what I'm going to be looking for has a lot to do with what I just looked at? Whether it's a product, whether it's a title, whether it's a... who knows what it is, that should be at the top of my search list. And I think for Google it was, because it was literally exactly where I wanted to go. Now, did I find out that he was on Twitter? Neither here nor there. Not exactly, but I think I did what I thought I should. I don't know. Anyway, so there's the Google question. Abra. Oh, well, the babysitting might be interesting. And I thought of it. One of the people I follow on Twitter, her name is Sarah. Actually, let me find her for you. Actually, she might pop up. Let me... why not just search her, Brady? Yeah, this is kind of dumb. At Alright, so this is Sarah. However, she changed it to Sass now. Interesting. I'm also... well, I how would I say this? I met her via Twitter, but I also have her on YouTube because she just literally just started. And this is kind of my... I'm sort of at that stage too, so I sort of gravitated towards what she was saying because she's like, hey, this is my first one. And I'm like, oh shit, it's your first one. I don't see these to me as YouTube videos, and I think it's because I'm not... because I treat it as if I'm doing a podcast, if that makes sense. Because what I'm seeing on my screen is what I see, and I feel like I'm just talking to a microphone. So to me, these aren't really videos, they're more audio bites. But I can see people in the future wanting to watch what someone was doing as they were doing it, and since a lot of what we do is on our phone, I don't know, it makes sense to me. Anyway, I'd watched her YouTube video, and afterwards she posted it, and then I think I said something to her on Twitter or something or other, and she was like, oh, worried about hope you didn't hear the toddler, something in the background. And I was like, you know what, that's a lot more interesting than just listening to the video. Like, if you could listen to the person, I don't know, I just found it fascinating that I could listen to... here's why. Freaking accents. So, as I'm sure you'll soon find out after listening to her, she's from Australia. Or you can just look here and find it on her thing. I think it's how my voice, I think it's how my brain... hold on a second. An hour? Jesus. I think it's how well my brain works when it's thinking in a voice other than myself. Very hard to describe, but I feel like I'm most productive and I get most of my things done on my list if I'm thinking in someone else's voice. I don't know how else to describe it. So, Australian. So now that I can put a voice to her texts, it literally changes like it makes sense. I don't know, it's very, very, very bizarre, and that's sort of why, in thinking about this, was another reason why I thought, hey, maybe I should send that text to Digital Asset Investor in a voice I think I could hear him, or in copy that I could hear him saying, so that if he were to say it on his show, it would sound like he was talking, and that's what would get his attention. Anyway, so I was talking, or I saw her video and was talking to her when this past week when I was down in Florida babysitting my nephews. And that brings me to the other thing I was going to talk about, but I'm not sure I have enough time to talk about it, so I guess maybe I'll have to talk about it in the next one, because after an hour, this thing sometimes kicks me off, and then I have to splice it together. So, that being said, I appreciate you taking the time with me this evening to ask with me, I think is what I'm going to call this. I don't know. Can even come from the people around you. See, this is great. That happened an hour ago. Like, I literally feel like I'm 7 hours ago looking at what Gary Vee was like. Like, oh. See, now this puts... the text. It's all making sense to me now. Carrie? You're fucking brilliant, dude. Seriously. So, today, I received a text about Iconic. And I thought, wait a minute, why does that sound familiar? Sure as shit, I looked at the art. I think that's Adam? No. Oh, that's, what's his face? Schmidt? The fuck's Adam? No, this is one of the dudes from, crap, what was it called? This is one of the guys, the two dudes, these two dudes that do art on Instagram. I can't remember what it was, but it was something interesting. I looked into it, and I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Then I get this text from Gary, and he says something about a discount or something, come look, and it's these freaking pictures. That happened 7 hours ago. Guess what I got 7 hours ago? That fucking text. That's why I think he's experimenting with this form of communication, because he can literally text someone that's interested in his brand what he's doing in real time. That is fucking brilliant. And I wish... what you're doing, texting what you're doing in real time. This is the future of business. The brand sells the good. The brand sells the good, because the good. What am I trying to say? The brand. All right, no. See, now I really need to. Oy vey. Good night.